Hi, it's Richard Moore from Racing Profits Guides, and we're down here at Leicester Racecourse with Jimmy Stevenson, the clerk of the course for Leicester. We're just going to have a bit of a chat with Jimmy about himself, how he got into racing, and then obviously the racing at Leicester itself on the flat and over the jump through the winter. Nice to meet you today, Jimmy. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. So what brought you into horse racing in the first place?
I've been in racing a very long time.
Have you?
Through my family history, really. My grandfather used to be the head groundsman at Aintree.
Right.
He started there in 1952.
Did he?
Yeah, and I was originally supposed to be going into engineering, but it was the recession in the 1980 in Liverpool, and it was there wasn't many jobs around. My granddad came home one day and said, "There's a job going on the racecourse if you want it," you know. So I thought, I'll give it a go, you know.
Yeah.
And I was there for 15 years after that.
So when was that? When was that you started there?
I started in 1980.
80.
Yeah,
right,
1980. Yeah. So I've done 15 years there. I used to build the Grand National jumps. I used to look after the Grand National course. And then I got asked one day, would I like my own racecourse?
So did you get up to being the clerk at Aintree?
No, I was assistant groundsman.
You were assistant groundsman there, yeah.
And then I came to Leicester then, as head groundsman.
When was that? What year was that? Do you remember?
20 years ago. So.
20 years?
Yeah, 1984, so it'll be 20 years next year. So 1994, sorry, 1994. And I've been here ever since. There were chalk and cheese as well, you know. I went from probably the quietest racecourse in the country to the busiest racecourse in the country.
Where?
You know, from on turf, you know, from Aintree to here,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Aintree only had a few meetings a year. I know the big meetings, but they didn't have many, do they? It's about 7 meetings.
When I was there, we had the Grand National meeting and we had the November meeting. That was what we had.
So it was quite quiet, but big crowds on those days.
Yeah, they were big when they were there, you know. Yeah.
Bigger than your crowds you get here.
Yeah, just a bit, yeah.
But more meetings, obviously, through the year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Did you have to do any exams, or is it something you've studied over time then, to become the clerk?
Over time, Richard. Originally, it was just you'd learn on the job from your fellow workers. Then racing wanted to try and modernise itself, and about 15 years ago now, they started to introduce an exam system for all groundsmen, qualifications, and I was one of the guinea pigs of that system.
You trialled it out, did you?
Yeah, there was about 8 of us, and they were all still around as well.
You're still working the circuit somewhere.
Yeah. So, you know, it did work. But I can remember it now. It was a real shock to all of us, because we all ended up in this school situation, the classroom up in York, and it was so alien to us, you know.
After learning everything on the job, you have to do this academic thing.
But that's the way it is now, you know. So
it is.
that took a long time, and I've done other stuff since. And the clerk of the course is a separate thing again. You have to do it. That would take you about a year.
So how long have you been actually clerk here? Did you come here as clerk?
No, I came here as head groundsman.
Right, yeah.
And I've been clerk, off my head now, I would think it's about 8 or 9 years now.
Have you? Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that moves nicely on to Leicester, and we'll talk in the next part about Leicester itself.
Right.